So it's almost Christmas time. The best Christmas movie of all time is Home Alone.
Agreed.
Lies. Yep.
This right here
Stop it.
for
Stop it.
$120,000.
It's called the Art Basel banana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Hey, how much
That's
do teachers
art,
make a
you
year?
know?
Yeah.
Not
bad.
that.
Hey, everybody, this is John. Welcome to the Aesir Podcast.
Time out. You said you were going to count down and you never counted
You know
down.
what? I know.
Can you at
I
least just humor me with a 3, 2, 1?
You want a 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, great. Perfect.
I hate you.
Also, I just want to highlight today for those of us watching us on the audio that J2 and John are matching flannels, and they both have tree tattoos.
No,
We're
we
not
are
talking
literally
about this.
matching from head to toe. We have a
know.
hat, a flannel, blue jeans, and black shoes.
I called you
can't
this
see,
morning.
but-
I said, hey, J2, what are you wearing?
It's really cute.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. I was really going for that today.
And we also met, the trees. We brought them together.
Look at them. They're long lost father-son, actually.
Actually,
Just kidding.
no.
You'd have to be
mean-
pretty.
Yeah. I mean, if I had a kid
Wait,
when
how-
I was like 10.
But your daughter's 14, and
We're not talking
J2.
We're not talking about my age either.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. We can't. we
His
can't.
age is just old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He's so fat.
moving. I'm just gonna. drink
Moving
the
on
Happy
into our
Camper.
actual news. So we're going to talk a little bit today about the Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman feud that's going on. We saw.
Is it really a feud though?
No, it's totally fictitious, but
Okay.
it was elevated again this week. So Reynolds was on Australia's Today Show, and they were kind of talking about him and Hugh Jackman, obviously, because Hugh
By the
Jackman,
way, Hugh
is
Jackman
from
needs to put his beard back on.
Australia. You know, Hugh Jackman's one of those people. He's a true Renaissance man. I just want to say
He needs a beard.
He can sing, he can act, he
Do you
can
only
dance.
say Renaissance because he was in Les Mis?
Les Mis wasn't during the Renaissance.
Okay, but I
J2.
only
Was it
really
not?
care about Hugh
No,
Jackman.
it was during
playing-
like the 17th, like 1800s.
Okay, you're right. I'm wrong.
I don't know, but I only care about Hugh Jackman when he's Wolverine. That's all I care.
Yeah, I mean, he can
That's all
get
I care
ripped.
about.
Anyways, that's an
You
aside.
like that, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Why do you think the Wolverine movies made so much money? Anyways,
Blood.
well, yeah, but also Hugh Jackman shirtless. Anyway, so Ryan Reynolds and him, they like have this good camaraderie, and they were talking about it, and he said, quote, well, he's just an evil person. I mean, you guys have all been duped. You think that he's this benevolent ambassador of your country, but people don't realize he's from Winnipeg, Canada, actually. And they said, so sorry, truth hurts sometimes when you see it. It makes your eyes water. Hugh Jackman is a fraud. And that kind of escalated later on his Instagram stories. Reynolds shared an image of his face, which was photoshopped on Hugh Jackman's Greatest Showman poster. And he, instead of his cane that he has for The Greatest Showman, he has a bottle of Reynolds' new like aviation gin. And both of their names are written across it in like this fake poster or something. So I just think that's really funny. I just like that these two guys are both really successful in Hollywood, and they just have I like a good, cracking at each other online in a funny, not hurtful way. Like I think it's entertaining.
So I actually want to take this a little farther.
Yeah.
I actually think Ryan Reynolds is a marketing genius
He is.
because, first of all, he's funny as hell. Second of all, he's hit it twice now with his gin in like 10 days.
Yeah.
He immediately went out and hired the
Peloton
girl,
for
right?
his gin commercial.
Which made it go even like
Viral.
elevated her.
Yeah.
It's like completely viral now. So he hired her, did a commercial with her. I mean, and then he comes out, and while he's doing that interview for the Netflix special, pokes some fun at Hugh Jackman, and goes and again brings the gin right in. He didn't pay. He paid for the Pendleton.
But he didn't pay for Hugh
commercial, but
Jackman.
he's
He
not
just
paying for this.
photoshopped it.
No.
Yeah,
It's fantastic. I'm concerned for Ryan Reynolds.
He's a smart guy, though. He owns that
I
gin company.
think-
He owns a wireless network company now.
No, he's awesome. He is
He's a
awesome.
smart dude.
My thing is now that Disney got Fox,
Oh, got Deadpool.
they have Deadpool.
Yeah, they're still gonna keep it up.
No.
You think
I'm not worried about them getting rid of it.
Oh.
I'm just like I like bloody, violent. Like
Yeah,
Deadpool,
no, I think they're gonna stick with that.
I don't know.
It's just because it's Disney doesn't mean they're not gonna nerf it. No.
Well, I know there's already a good rumor that he's going to be he's going to get at least a cameo in the next Doctor Strange movie, and that is not going to be a rated R.
Yeah, he just won't. No, it is. It is rated R because it's a horror film.
Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Really? The new
Doctor
one?
Strange. Yeah.
The new one is going to be rated R.
I don't know if it's going to be a horror film though.
I don't know about
No,
that.
it's. Hold on. Let me look. Strange 2.
Multi-universe.
It's not going to be rated by now. I mean, I don't think they started
Yeah,
filming.
No,
it's-
but it's new horror movie project after Doctor.
No, he's doing a
Oh.
new horror
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
after Doctor
no.
Strange.
I was going to say
Okay.
Disney's pretty committed to keeping their movies like
'Cause I would
PG-13.
think, yeah, we'll probably
Yeah.
say PG-13.
They want as many people going to the movie as possible.
Yeah.
I think-
Yeah. I think Deadpool will just make cameos and break like the fourth wall.
Well, they're
kind of
going to
thing.
do. They said they're going to do another. They're going to do a Deadpool 3.
Mhm.
Okay.
One of the writers said that they met with Marvel, and Marvel's and Disney, and Marvel said we're going to continue keeping Deadpool
The way it is.
the way it is. However, the mouse rules. And, he says a lot of crazy, awesome things that are hilariously vulgar.
yeah.
And I just wonder, and here's the other thing. Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, same thing with, they're supposedly going to reboot X-Men, which I think is good for X-Men, because the only good movies was the Wolverine movies. The X-Men movies were just terrible.
The
So
Logan movie was really good.
yeah, no,
Last time they did.
I even like the one that the Japan one, because that was like as close to the comic I think as they got. But I appreciated and really enjoyed the X-Men movie. The Wolverine movies, the X-Men movies. Like, please Disney, fix them.
Yeah.
Do what you did with the
They do a
Avengers,
series even.
please.
If they do an X-Men, which Deadpool is now part of that universe, and Hugh Jackman, I guess. Well,
They're not going to use him.
He said
Apparently he
he's
said
done
he's
being
done.
Isn't he dead?
Wolverine.
Well, I mean,
I never saw Logan, but didn't he die essentially at the
it
end?
was old man.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
No, he's not, and also
But I think they would if they played off that though, because now they're in the same universe, even just for a minute.
Well,
like,
Marvel
you know how
killed
much
off
hype they would
Wolverine
get.
too, and people were saying they did it in case Disney didn't
Well,
acquire.
I guess he already
Fox.
called out Wolverine in the second one, or the first one with the doll. I remember that.
Well,
There was at least a rumor. I want to correct that. There was at least a rumor that Marvel was gonna, killing off Wolverine so they could bring in a new Wolverine because Disney didn't have the licensing
Interesting.
to do the actual Wolverine.
well, and Hugh Jackman had said before, like, because he has to get so ripped. I mean, he's like 40-something years old.
Oh, I feel so horrible that he has to get in super shape.
No, but I
and
think
get
he
paid
just has
millions of
said
dollars.
like he's at a point where he just like can't sustain it anymore.
That makes sense.
So I mean, and he's been in so many movies as Wolverine. I mean, he's made plenty of money off
They
of
did
it.
Fat Thor. Why not Fat Wolverine?
Exactly. That
Wait,
was
what is
awesome.
Fat Thor?
You
Didn't
never
watch
saw
it.
Endgame? Oh God!
You did not watch Endgame.
It's 2019.
I'm not
Almost
sure we can
2020.
have you in this. I don't know if you
Okay,
can be on this podcast
here's the
anymore.
thing.
I think next Friday is your last podcast.
No, yeah. We're gonna have to. I don't know. You have to. All right, we're done.
Yeah.
Okay. J2,
Should we
take
move
the,
on?
Take the next
I'm
one.
saying.
Okay, so
I'm
it's
not sure you're gonna be allowed to talk the rest of the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
I'm just saying that
You have a
I
1
watched
minute
some of
shutout starting now. Okay.
I'm gonna give my excuse
Go ahead, let her-
real
go ahead.
quick.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
fine.
I did watch a lot of the Avengers movies in college because I went with my like guy friends and stuff, and like I had a group of people that were really into it. The reason I didn't see Endgame was just because I haven't kept up with them as much, and I'm like I need to just watch the ones I've missed before I see it. So I'm planning on seeing it.
Okay, you
Haven't
have to
gotten around
watch
to
them
it.
this weekend.
I have Disney Plus. So I mean,
Okay, we'll get started.
actually I have Netflix too. It's
Okay,
Endgame's
good.
still
Well,
on.
Endgame is on Netflix,
Yeah.
and the
Is
Infinity
it like
War is
long
on.
though?
No, they're great. You won't even know. Just
Okay.
blow right through it.
Yeah, just watch it.
Wow.
Okay,
Sure.
moving on. So it's almost Christmas time. The best Christmas movie of all time is Home Alone.
Agreed.
Lies.
I don't
That's
know which
fine.
one. I mean, Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2 are both pretty good. Home Alone 1's better, but Home Alone 2 is a good sequel. But let's talk about the other ones, which I don't know if you
Home
knew
Alone
this.
3?
No.
third
There's
one?
more.
Really?
What?
And they're making a new one. There's Home Alone, Home Alone 2,
Yeah.
Home Alone 3,
It was awful.
Home Alone 4, and then Home Alone.
What was Home Alone 4?
There's an ABC special. Hold on.
I think I remember it.
Oh my gosh.
No. There's 5, and then they're making a brand new one.
But Macaulay Culkin was only
He's
in
only
the first
in 2 of them.
The
Yeah,
only
yeah.
two that are worth watching.
worth-
The Holiday Heist. I guess in 2012 they
What?
made it. Hold on, let me look at the wiki page.
Is
Yeah,
it
I
Ryan
haven't even
Reynolds?
seen this one. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. Stoned Alone. Sorry, he's
Oh, okay.
producing that. That's like I
Yeah,
just saw
way
that.
different. Yeah, it doesn't have. I guess this Home Alone, the holiday heist, has no McAllisters in it. Nothing. So let's just go.
There weren't any McAllisters
Baxter's
in
Family
Home Alone 4.
Relocation.
Yes, it was.
There was?
Home Alone 4. Okay, so here's the thing. I was reading up on this.
Okay, go ahead. Hit
So
me.
Home Alone 1, Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin is 9. Home Alone 2, he's 10. Now Home Alone 3, that's not the McAllisters. That's
Right.
another one. Home Alone 4, it goes to Peter McAllister and whatever, I forgot her name, got a divorce, and now he's rich, which makes sense why he could afford all these vacations. Like real talk, like how did he afford
Yeah,
like
why
20
would-
people to go to Paris, like
I
all
agree.
that stuff. Like
Right.
it makes sense. So now he's with this new chick. And it's all about like, he goes, which is just the hype. That's when everybody started to get divorced, so they decided to make a Christmas movie about spending.
Either that or they
spending
couldn't get
time.
the cast together, so
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
they had to
Right.
rewrite
But
remember
it.
anyways, so it's after. So it says in the movie, he says, "I'm 9 years old." So he was 9 years old in the first movie, and then the second movie he was 10, and then he goes back
stop.
to being 9 in a different
Oh,
thing.
that's very
And they
confusing.
also,
Yes.
they also use this. They use all the same characters. It's the Wet Bandit, and they say Marv, but Marv is the one with the crazy
This
hair.
just sounds like a cheap imitation knockoff.
But Marv is the one with the crazy hair who's like the sticky bandit.
Right.
But he wears a beanie and he looks exactly like the other guy. So like they totally messed up. Like
They
it
just
is such
copied
a
it.
stupid thing. Like all it is just a rich kid with all this stuff. The jokes are not funny. They're just like recycled. And like it's not like this movie is so bad. I was looking it up yesterday. You go to YouTube.
Which movie?
Well, yeah, just remember we can't play it.
I'm not playing it.
Home Alone.
But you go
4.
for a full movie, it's on there
Oh.
a bunch of times. YouTube was just like whoever was
YouTube
like,
just doesn't
that's
care.
how bad it is. Like they're like, whatever,
Nobody
go
wants
ahead
to
and
watch
watch
it
it.
anyway.
This is the best way to watch it. Like
Wow.
1 million.
That's when you
And
know.
it's The Undertaker. That's funny.
You know your movie is bad when YouTube does not care.
They're
if
like,
it's
just
all-
steal it,
The
just
full
pirate
movie's
it.
up there.
But they're just taking the formula of kids alone takes over the house. The older person who seems mean and like the bad guy is actually the one that saves them in the end. And like, come
Audio-
on,
audio
how many
Nate.
times?
Could you look something up for me real quick? Nobody make fun of me. Although you all will. When did the iPhone come out?
Isn't it
Yeah.
2003?
Oh, that's not. I'm not making fun
Oh
of you.
no,
No.
it's not that. It's
No.
2009. Sorry.
June 2007.
Okay. So, all right. So, here's my thing.
Now they'd
I
have.
say 2003. Wow.
Are you
Thi-
gonna say
None of the Home Alone movies would have happened.
they have to set them back? I was gonna say that they have to set them
Because
back.
they're smart.
in
Well, even
time.
just
Unless
this is
you,
before
if you
cell
had
phone.
smartphones.
This is before like common cell
2012?
phone. So no.
This one came out in 90s.
So Home Alone was 1990.
Oh,
then.
yeah, no,
1992 was
absolutely.
Home Alone 2. Then they waited another 5 years. Honestly, like Home Alone 3 has really bad.
It's terrible.
No, I like it. I just watched it this weekend.
It was awful.
It's
I hate
it's
it.
different. It's super cheesy, but like
Well, isn't it
what about
California?
Christmas isn't cheesy? Like what about Christmas? All of these Christmas movies
It
are.
says film was nominated for Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Remake or Sequel.
It's true. It was
Which
terrible.
one? Where does it say
This
that?
Home Alone 3. It says it at the very bottom.
Okay, maybe I'm going against. I liked it. I like it. It's
That's
a different
fine.
take.
Simple mind, simple mind.
It's like it's a little. Oh my god, it's a little kid who's like. It's like it's super cheesy, and they're going up against these spies, and like the whole
No,
plot is so
I want some
stupid.
it. It was
cheese.
awful.
Yeah, I mean, Home Alone 4 is just one of
I'm
the
not
worst
watching
movies
it.
of all time.
So my whole thing is, sometimes like they haven't redone or rebooted or done a sequel to E.T. and I'm okay with that. Like, let's not, please. Let's just not. Let's stop.
yeah. Well,
Again, this is Disney cashing in on. I mean, it's fine. Good for them. Like, I just, how does this even work now? I mean, Kevin McAllister, they leave him in Paris. You shoot
Yeah.
him a text.
well, he wasn't
Hey,
in
Kevin.
Paris.
No, in the
They
the
were.
first
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
You shoot him a text. Hey, Kevin, we're gonna have a car pick you up at the airport. You're gonna be on the next flight over.
Yeah.
Sit tight. Someone's
I think
coming to
some
get
of
you.
it is they'll have to. Maybe they'll set it back in the 90s or 80s
No,
again.
it's definitely not. It's going to be in the
It's
future.
gonna be
It's
in
going
the
to be
future.
now.
But you know,
Whatever.
maybe
Here's the
they're just dumb
reality.
parents.
The second movie should just be them sitting in the Child Protective
Yes.
Services office.
Yes,
Why do
getting
you keep
interviewed.
Why do you keep leaving your kid around? Like, come on, like get your stuff together.
Listen.
But this is the future of Home Alone 5. I'm not judging, but
I'm not gonna judge
That's
either.
not a Kevin
Oh,
McAllister.
no, actually,
I am.
heard.
I'm stoked about Ellie Kempner. She's funny, like The Office, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, like she's funny. This guy, I don't know who
I
he
don't
is,
know.
but I've seen him before.
I'll go on the Rob Delaney guy who is the young boy. I have not seen the movie Jojo Rabbit, but he is getting a lot of really good buzz about his role in that movie. I'm not saying he's going to be a great Kevin McAllister, like you don't know, but I do know that from what I've heard from people that have seen that movie, he kind of steals the show and he's a pretty minor part, so maybe he won't be as bad.
Yeah, and just to break it back, they also this Home Alone franchise, they were trying to make it a TV show. How would you do that? Oh, the
Why?
Wet Bandits are at it again.
like,
Oh,
no.
Kevin's
Maybe the
left
stupid
alone.
parents.
His family goes to Minnesota and he stays by himself.
Maybe they try to make it like a modern day like Dennis the Menace. You know, trying
Well,
to kind of
that's
I
what
could
it
see
was.
that.
Dennis the
Well,
Menace
no,
thing.
the first person, I forgot his name. The person who made the Home Alone also made Dennis the Menace.
That
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
So
Yeah.
like that's his genre, is that kind of stuff.
So you kind of
but-
wonder. And honestly, I
Hijinks
don't think
and
we've had.
kids.
Yeah.
I don't think we've really had a. No, I don't want to say that because I don't know if that's true. But I feel like we haven't really recently had movies or like Dennis the Menace or Home Alone in a while. It
They'd
just-
be too cheesy.
yeah, like- or
A
like
kid
the
movie that it was pretty good is
Sandlot.
Good Boys. It was just it's a different concept.
I don't
and
think that's
now-
a child's movie. It's
No,
a
it's
rated
rated R.
R.
It is
So
rated
let's
R.
be. It's not a kid's movie.
But
to be
but it's
clear.
with a kid as a main. I mean, Stranger Things, all that. Okay, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole. We don't need to.
No.
But anyways, Home Alone 5, whenever it comes, probably 2021, 2020. I would be willing to bet a lot of money that it gets less than 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey,
I'm saying it now.
What does the original one have?
Hold on, I got something for
it's
Audio
good.
Nate. This is going to be interesting. So the first movie came out in 1992, right?
90, but yes.
How much? How
65.
much did the first Avengers movie bring in? This number might be too high. This might not.
Home Alone made 285 million.
The first movie grossed 470.
That's not true.
That's what. Well, I'm just going off of what I got.
Where'd you see that?
I would say
Right
there is something I do think.
Oh,
If it,
including 285.8 million domestic.
If
Okay,
they-
I
I didn't even need to look at the sheet. I knew that off the top of my head.
if it's gonna be on Disney Plus,
1.5 billion.
Yeah, but this
So-
is 1990 money,
I'm
so
just.
that's
what
even
I'm wondering.
more.
I'm like, if you do the
I
inflation,
mean, not
just
that,
wonder.
not
think
that,
that
and it
that-
wasn't as hyped. Like,
No.
will it come out on Disney Plus though? Because it says Disney's Plus Home Alone reboot, so it might not even be in theaters. Like it might be kind of like the Noel movie
Yeah.
they have on Disney Plus now, where they just released it.
Yeah, no. I was just interested when I saw how much it made, like for
Yeah.
inflation. I just wonder if you did the the numbers for
I think
inflation, what that would
they're
be, 'cause that's crazy
smart
money.
to not have it.
yeah,
They might have it on Disney Plus because I think if they put it in the theaters and it bombs, that's going to be like a huge
Oh no,
problem.
it's definitely safe to put on.
But
Disney
if they put it on
Plus.
Disney Plus, people will probably just watch it because they're like, whatever, this is probably fine for our kids to watch. We'll throw it on. If it sucks, I'm already paying $6.99 a month for Disney Plus.
Oh, my kids will watch it.
yeah,
So
My
yeah.
kids
The
will watch it.
numbers are. It's an interesting.
Yeah.
It
thing
is
where we're moving
interesting.
towards.
All right, now I know you want to show me something.
Yes.
And,
Okay.
And you gave me an idea of what it was,
Yeah.
we're a little scared.
and I purposely did not look it up because I know you just want my raw reaction.
Yeah.
Which scares me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to underwhelm you. It's not that crazy, but it's
Okay.
just ridiculous.
Interesting.
That's
Okay,
what I'm afraid
so
of.
This past weekend, a art piece went for sale for $120,000.
Okay.
Can you guess what kind of art piece it was? Just
I mean,
Gold
$120,000 isn't wild.
there's two main things involved in this. If you can guess them, I will buy you Starbucks for the rest of the week. There's two main ingredients.
Two
Go
main
ahead.
ingredients. Two.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cardboard.
No.
No.
All right.
Okay. It is a
Canvas?
banana and duct tape.
Yep. As
This
you can
right
see, that
here
is the
Stop
went
it.
for
Stop it.
$120,000.
It's called the Art Basel banana.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I knew you had told me it was a banana,
They
Okay,
didn't think
I
it was-
forgot about that. Yeah.
but I did not. I did not realize. That
It's a banana duct taped to the wall for those listening.
In case
It's a
you
banana
can't
duct taped to a
see.
wall that somebody paid $120,000 for.
Honestly,
Oh.
if I look at that, I think
Hey, how much
that's
do teachers
art,
make a
you
year?
know?
Yeah.
Not
bad. About a fourth of that.
How much are we making a year? Not that.
No.
I want to be in the art game. Like,
So
maybe I
who-
could just blow like
Who did
tissues and
this?
sell them.
Who's responsible for this?
What isn't that the guy's name?
Art Basel. It
What-
says,
what
which
else
is
has
based
he
in
done?
Paris.
No. It's this guy's name. I'm not gonna butcher the Italian.
No, don't do it.
No.
What else has he done?
Nope.
I have no clue.
He made the piece.
That's why I
noteworthy.
was shocked. Like this guy, like I mean,
He
this is
says-
something like I mean, honestly, Banksy could sell this for probably
Audio
$1 million.
What else? What else is?
They said
has
that he
the artist made.
his art normally goes for 10 times that
Satirical.
amount.
It's
All
Is
this
it
stuff?
$120,000 satirical? What is it supposed to mean? I'm curious.
It's probably supposed to mean, yeah. So he's clearly satirical with a lot of stuff.
like
oh
that.
my goodness! Look at those horses.
They ate the banana and they replaced the banana.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I think it's kind of like,
I think it is satirical.
I mean, like art is only what you give it meaning to. Like,
That guy looks familiar.
I mean,
But sadly, some people give meaning to art, and it's
I think that's
Terrifying.
kind of the point. Is that it is like everyone.
A
knows that
joke.
this is, like,
I like the horses.
Yeah, that's a good
I'm
one.
a little.
Are they
Right.
donkeys?
I don't know what they are.
I
Alright,
think
I think they're
they're
donkeys.
horse-
I think they're
What?
jack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just wanted to say that.
Well, no, that's jack because that's their
I do.
and they're
I
jacks.
actually do like.
And they're jacks. What even is a jack?
I like that
Just
one
kidding.
actually.
But yeah. Ooh, is that a that's a Hail
I
Hitler
don't-
interesting.
Ooh, I'm gonna veto that.
So yeah,
Oh,
either way,
Toilet.
the
Oh, he did the
golden
golden
throne.
toilet. Okay.
So yeah, satirical art
Okay.
selling for a lot, but really a banana. And yeah, obviously
the
it was
guy ate
staged
it.
that the guy ate it, but 120K.
Oh, good for him.
Doesn't even look like a particularly good
Yeah.
banana.
Anybody like take a Jolly Rancher and duct tape it to like maybe I don't know this table? We'll take a picture.
Listen,
of it.
I'll give you a Jolly Rancher for $120. No problem.
120,000.
120,000. Yeah, even $120. I mean, I don't have to be picky about it.
It's even funnier because I want to see it like 2 weeks from now when the banana's rotten. It'll
They'll
just
pro-
be
I
good.
wonder if they'll just
Could
keep
you
replacing
resell
it.
They keep replacing it.
Okay.
Is this where? Okay.
Do you
Well,
think
at
there'll be
least
somebody's
if ever-
job to get a new banana every day?
Probably, but hey, here's the real thing: is it gets people into art because anybody can do this at home, so they can feel like
But
they
could you
have a
do it with the same-
$120,000 thing.
Could you do it with the same feeling? Though?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Where do
don't know.
people get duct tape? I don't know where you could buy that. Yeah.
I mean, no, but I mean the raw energy coming from the banana. duct tape to the
Yes.
wall.
It just
think
seems
that's it.
very. It has good energy. Like I can feel it through the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
It really so
Feng
here's
shui or
I'll end
whatever.
with
Feng
this.
shui- I don't know how to say that.
Here's my thought interpretation on this art. Okay.
Yeah, tell us.
This speaks to me in a very real way.
Yeah.
The banana is taped to the wall, which represents us being huddled in our own emotions and in our own boxes. And we need to
Break out.
release and be eaten by somebody. No, that's not what it is.
Ooh, don't love
But,
that.
well, I'm just trying to go off of how they did that.
My interpretation is this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, I think it's about.
And I am
here's
incredibly
here's
jeal-
how I'm trying to end
Hold on,
is
hold
it's
on.
about cannibalism.
I'm incredibly jealous that he got $120,000.
Good for
that.
him,
Yeah.
honestly.
I'm just
Yeah.
jealous.
It's really funny because the artists who are big make so much money, and then artists
Good for
like
them.
are in
That are
some
actually good.
like are poverty. Like
are
it's
actually
crazy.
good.
People
sorry.
are in poverty over art, and somebody's selling a freaking banana with duct tape on it for
But you know,
120K.
This is what our world has done to us, though. Like they have said, "Oh, let me be an idiot and buy 100." Also, if you have money to buy that guy who ate the banana and bought it, like you should not be allowed to have that much money. Like
No, no,
you're
no,
an
no.
idiot.
Hey, listen. If there's a market for it, go for it.
Ugh.
If there's a market for it and somebody buys it, go for it. There's a reason why he was able to sell that for what he
But
did.
this isn't new.
Dumbest
Like
art.
there's been dumb art like interesting. No, this
that
isn't
a
a new
pot?
thing.
Oh,
People
gosh.
have been buying stupid art for a very long
No,
time
there's
at
some
ridiculous
people-
prices.
And people will continue
So
to buy
we'll end with
stupid
that.
art.
Somebody ate and bought a banana with duct tape on it for 120K, and
right.
that's where we're at in this world.
Now,
so
I have something fun.
Go
I have
ahead.
something
Yeah.
fun that I want to do. So, neither of you two have kids.
You don't know that.
Not that I
J2
know
has
of, yeah.
twins.
Yeah.
I did at one point. I did convince Rachel that I had twins in North Carolina.
I honestly believed it. Like he told
Yeah.
me, I was asking people in the office. I was like, "Does he really have
Well,
twins?"
it's because I
And
go
they were
down to
like,
North
"Yeah."
Carolina, my best friend and his wife and daughter. So like I would have a picture with a kid, and like it made sense. So yeah. That was a good running joke for a while.
He definitely was like, "Yeah, I just, they're just like not really part of my life, but I go down and I see them and I pay my child support." And I just was like,
I was like trying to be like the worst, like play it off as like I'm the worst dad. But yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So did I know I didn't want you to show him, but we had to get it, everything set up.
Elf on the Shelf.
Do you want to have Rachel control this?
No, I got it. I can
okay.
look.
So
I
yeah,
didn't see
so
most of them either.
I don't know why my wife and I decided to do this because neither of us grew up doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's new.
Well, it's not new. It's been around a really long time. Oh yeah. I mean,
Elf on the Shelf?
I know people that. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Nuh-uh. How long have people done it?
It's
been
been
the past
it's
couple
been
of
around
years.
a while.
really long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
No,
it
it's-
just got hyped.
Yeah. It's been
Okay.
around a really long time. Yeah, I mean, I know people that grew up, doing it.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
thought it was a recent thing.
So, but we never grew up doing it, right? So
Mm-mm.
we thought it would be fun to do when we had our first kid, my oldest. We thought it'd be fun to do. After like day 7, it's awful.
Yeah.
How long do you have to do it? Does it come
Man,
after
you're supposed to do
Thanksgiving?
it all the way up to Thanksgiving, and sometimes you forget, and then it's like, oh my god, it's
Sounds
now,
like hell.
See now, yeah, it is. Now my oldest, she does it for the younger girl, girls.
Earns her keep.
It's fantastic. She likes to do it, and
You don't have to.
right. And matter of fact, she just went to her friend's house. She had like her Christmas party. She slept over. We forgot to move the elf. Let me tell you.
Did they notice?
It was pandemonium. I was thrown out.
What did your daughter say?
Daddy, what did you do? And so there's the little backstory is that I had a big bag of Sour Patch Kids. And so my oldest daughter took the elf's head, stuck it in the bag, and then had, scattered Sour
That's
Patch
cute.
Kids around it. So I wanted my Sour Patch Kids. So I moved him, which
Yeah,
adults
you're
are
not
allowed
supposed
to
to-
move. No, adults are allowed
Kids
to
aren't
move it.
supposed to touch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that night, my daughter slept over at her friend's house, and
Your older daughter.
Yeah,
to
my
be
older
clear,
daughter
who
did.
normally does it.
who does it, and I didn't even think twice about the elf. It was, and this is the drama that you can get when you have the stupid elf. Now, some people have gotten very creative with the elf.
Pinterest.
Before we move on to this, I just want to say, like, this Elf on the Shelf, my dad does it, which is funny. But my sister and I are in our late, but he does like weird stuff. My sister hates it. And she
Did he
like
do it when you
she'll
were
wake up like
kids?
screaming. No, I didn't. I mean, I don't remember. I remember it a little bit, but not when I believed in Santa. Which I just want to do a shout out right now. My dad is Santa in my city's parade, and
He
this year I went as Buddy the Elf. Should I load something?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
let's see
wanna
it.
see it.
I want to see it.
Did
For
you have to
privacy
wear?
settings, editor, please blur out my information. But
What was I gonna say? Did you have to wear tights when you were Buddy the Elf?
oh, I don't want that picture. So
Yes.
this is me on the
Yes.
float, as my dad is there.
We need sound.
Yeah, I need the audio.
We need audio.
I'm prompting the Y because it was
okay.
for the Y, and I don't have the sound output on.
But you're basically like,
Wait,
hey,
and
here's
that was
Santa.
your dad? That was your dad?
That was my dad. Yeah. Oh man, I got a good story about it. Before we get into Elf on the Shelf, so
go
this
ahead,
is at the beginning. I mean, this is a big parade. Like 30 to 40,000 people
It's a pretty
show
good
up.
flow.
No,
Whoa.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fun. It
that's
was fun.
fun.
But towards the beginning, this is the best thing. So not a lot of people are there, and these two kids come up, and editor, you're gonna have to censor me because I'm gonna say exactly what these kids said. But
I'm so scared. What were their ages?
so these two kids come up. They're about 9 or 10, and they go, "Hey Santa, I know you're not real." And then the other one, like, they're just saying all this stuff, and then my dad goes, we have our little neighbor who's also an elf, and he's got the book, and my dad's like, Santa, I'll just say, Santa's like, hey, can you see if these kids are on the naughty list or naughty or nice list? And he goes, they're on the naughty list, but he goes, hey, you guys have some chance before Christmas to get on the nice list. And then I'm not kidding you, these 9 or 10-year-olds go, hey, you, Santa, and then they run away. I'm not kidding. They come back like 15, 20 seconds later. They're saying, "Fuck you, Santa!" And then the other one has a snowball,
Nuh-uh.
and he throws it at my dad.
Stop it.
He misses, and it goes. My dad's looking the other way, and he doesn't even see what's going on. Like, and then I go, "Did you just see that?" And right when I said that, like after the kid threw the snowball, he beelines. There's 4 cops. Hold on. There's 4 cops around, and they chase him, and they grab him by his jacket and lift him straight up. Like, I'm not kidding you. And that's when there was
Santa
a float.
got kids arrested.
There was a float behind it, so I couldn't see anything. But all I can assume is they were just holding. Did you really just throw oh my god?
He sees you when you're sleeping, and
That
he
kid
opens
has
your way.
balls. Like who throws a snowball at Santa?
Hats off to you, kid.
How long did you guys believe in Santa?
I mean, so my dad has been doing it for probably like 10 or 11. I think a little later, but then also like I would be an elf with my dad. My dad does Santa on Black Friday at our mall.
Yeah.
And like he always does, like we would always do these crazy entrances. So like we'd show up we showed up in Humvees. We showed up in like I used to do this as a kid. It was
That's
all the
actually
time.
really
It was so
fun.
much
It's
fun.
great. I'm just
And then I would
laughing
always
'cause-
be in a parade. But like my dad does Santa in the parade too. Like he's been in
love that.
Porsches. Like
Oh,
he's
it's
done in
great.
all these kind of things. But yeah, I was probably 10 or 11 when I
Did
like,
you ever believe in Santa?
I was like 6.
Dang.
I was 4th
Yeah.
grade and I cried. Like my mom sat me down, had to tell me, she's like, Santa's not real. And I literally cried and told her she was a liar.
See, I figured it out
Days.
myself. Like I figured it out. Like, and then that's when my dad's like, "Oh yeah, like let's start doing this." But I forgot what it was. But anyways, so that's my story. I was Buddy the Elf. It was so much
You just
fun.
wanted to show the video.
Yeah,
On the
yeah,
parade.
yeah.
That's all.
Also, I'm potentially doing when I go home for Christmas. My dad's like, "Hey, can you do a meet and greet as Buddy the Elf?" And I'm like, "So I might be doing that." Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Aw, are you gonna?
I get full into character too.
Yeah,
but,
that's great.
All right, so let's talk about these. Oh yeah, but and that brings me into all these kids kept bringing up. Hey, do you know one was like, hey, do you know Peppermint? I was like, who's that? She's like, the elf that watches me at my house. I was like, that's kind of creepy.
that's
All these
so
kids kept going up, so I'd have to be
cute.
like, oh yeah, Peppermint. Is he the one with the red hat or something like that? I was like, they're like, yeah, that's my guy. And like,
Oh,
What if you
awesome.
get
I
no,
love that
no,
so
no, here
much.
you go. What are you gonna do when you get like that smart aleck kid? It's gonna be like, hey, do you know Joey, my elf? And he's like, yeah. He's like, that's not his name.
oh, I didn't
or
do
a
that.
kid that's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, it says like a dirty name or something for their elf, and you like miss it too late.
Yeah, no, I'm witty enough to come up with a good answer. But anyways, all these kids. But I did see one. He was holding him during the parade, like he was carrying around like
Can't
a
be
doll. I was
carrying
like,
that
that's
elf.
the number one rule. You don't touch the elf on the shelf. And the kid's like holding it and like throwing it around and stuff. I was like,
Maybe it was his brother's little brother or sister's
maybe,
elf.
maybe. But
Wait, how many
anyways,
elves do you
let's.
have to have?
Yeah.
There are 3 in my house.
You
You
have 3 elves?
You have one
Yes.
for each kid.
Somebody gave 2 of my daughters elves.
Wow, that's difficult. Why
so
would you do that
should
to yourself?
definitely
I
kill
didn't do
them.
it. I didn't do that. Somebody brought them to my house.
Oh.
When they brought them, did you have to pretend to be excited, and then you were like, so we're gonna egg their house later?
I looked at my wife. I was like, what are these people doing to us?
So,
She's like, I don't know.
so
I'm
if
like,
I go to the mall and buy 40 elf on the shelves
You'll
and they're
have
in
to
your
move all
front
I will
lawn,
light them in front of your front lawn in effigy.
But then your daughter will run out and be like,
Light them
I live in the
Daddy,
city,
and you'll
I
be
don't
like, no presents for Christmas this year.
Yikes. Okay, well,
right,
let's
so-
get into.
So some people got very creative with their elf.
Okay.
I have 4 pictures.
Okay.
I went
Let's
mild.
make them big. Yeah, because I saw some of them yesterday. And,
I did go mild. They go from least to funnier, but
Okay.
you know,
So we have
we call this like,
this is
He's
slave. This is
slave labor.
This is slave labor.
Okay.
I mean, he's an elf. He should be used to it.
I mean, I
Yeah.
was thinking more like he's just going to put your toothbrush in the toilet, which is
Now,
gross.
maybe it's the kid who's been divorced. Like maybe it's his toothbrush. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good parent move. I mean, this is a funny one.
I think it's good, especially
Maybe
if
it's
your
a
kid's
cue.
not.
You need to clean your toilet.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we told you to clean the
Although
toilet.
I feel like they should have left their toilet. Yeah, all right, go to the next one.
Well, go ahead and finish your thought.
Oh, I just, it's fine. Just go
Okay,
to the
okay.
next
I hope that they don't use that toilet brush again.
one. This is my kind of elf
Toothbrush.
right
25 cents. Oh my god.
No, that's funny.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's kind of like the guy in the park.
here. Yeah.
Oh man, throwback to a couple podcasts
That's right.
ago.
Go back.
Yeah, public urination, but
Yeah.
that is a good one, and I like that
like
they're
that.
using like the communion cups
Yeah.
for grape juice. But
that
25
was
cents
taken-
lemonade.
You know that was taken to the church somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
I
I don't
Yeah.
know though. Can an elf just whip out his peen in like a
He's
church?
not showing anything.
He has nothing.
Yeah, and there's no stream going down. If they would have had a stream, that'd be even
Oh,
funnier.
that'd been.
I don't know if he would have been
Yeah.
able to like pull that off though.
All right,
Ooh.
let's go to the next one.
25 cents lemonade.
Oh, hold on, wait. Before we. No, I'm not gonna. I can't.
Say
tell
it,
the story.
say
No,
it,
Just
no,
say
no,
it.
no,
Just
no,
say
no,
it.
say
Just
it.
say
No.
it.
One of my buddies did one with some flour, and it was just.
Did it involve a certain drug?
It, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there a lot
Enough
of the
said.
ones
He was totally cracked out. It was awesome.
that we looked at for Dirty Elf on the Shelf. It was drug heavy. Oh look, here we go.
Okay.
Hey, it's Mommy Elf.
We
You know, I
got
was
we got
just
Mommy
thinking
Elf
that.
drinking some wine and Percocets. Let's go. He's having a wild night. I mean, what are you gonna do? That's a long ride all the way to North Pole. Like this is how he gets.
That's how he gets by. Maybe he
His-
doesn't like airplanes.
Okay, this guy travels every day, every night to go report back to Santa. Of course, he's got to have some way to an
I
outlet for
thought
something.
they had like a special snowball or something that they were like, "Hey Santa." I didn't know they had to travel.
I'm sure there's
back.
multiple stories, but from my understanding is he goes and reports to Santa every single night.
I believe he's mobile
Yeah.
during the evening and night.
Okay.
And then
He comes
becomes
back and does it.
stationary during the day.
Audio guy Nate.
Audio
thinks
Nate
that's
like that.
funny.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure when he's mobile what he does.
Why did they have to make him look so creepy though?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think
Like
he,
he
looks
looks
creepy.
No, he
He
looks
definitely
like
looks.
He has cute little blue eyes.
yeah, but they're wide open. Like he does look like he's on
They're
coke.
wide open because they're trying to catch you in your schemes, kids.
What you doing, kid?
Yeah. I mean, look, you
He doesn't blink because he can't miss anything.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. But he looks like he's on cocaine. But
Okay, this
He
might
should
be
he's
be
on
like a
Percocets
semi.
right now.
Hold on. He should be mellowed out.
Yeah.
Because he should be feeling good. I mean, my eyes would be like that, and my cheeks would be rosy because
He's
I'd be
just
having
wired.
a good old time.
Yeah, he's wired.
Funny story. Never.
Just say
Okay,
it.
All right. So
Come on, man.
When I decided to put a chop saw through my hand and
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I
almost
forgot about
take it
that.
off, yeah, I got in trouble for that.
The elf?
No, for that right there, I totally got in trouble. So I was high. I mean, horrible pain. Right, I almost lost
Mhm.
my thumb and my finger. And that gets to this point to where you can't take the next dose until it's time.
Right.
Yeah.
Look,
So you drank
prescription.
wine
I don't
instead.
like prescription. No,
Okay.
it was better than that.
Mhm.
I'm not a big fan of prescription drugs. However, when your finger's being reattached, and
Like
all
you
that
need
great
it.
stuff,
Yeah,
you
you
need 'em.
need what you need.
So I took some what was it? I had some Captain Morgan
Oh,
and a
gosh.
soda, little Roman Coke,
Uh-huh.
and it was after dinner. I was on a full stomach, and took my pain medicine, and I was sitting down at the couch, and I looked just like that. And my wife, who's a nurse, looked at me, and she goes, "What is in your cup?"
And you were like,
And I was like, "Coke."
Which-
I must
sort
have
of true.
I must have looked like I was just having a great time.
Yeah.
And I felt fantastic. And she goes, "John, we are not creating other types of problems." And she took my cup and dumped it out.
Oh.
What a good wife, though. What a good nurse.
I was just like, but my hand hurts. She's like, "No." So anyway, I look just like I must have looked just
Yeah.
like that because I was on another planet.
Well, Elf on the Shelf is having a great time.
I
All right.
That's
do
all
have
that
a
matters.
No.
question.
We got
Next
one
picture
more.
is when he's having
There's
a great
one
time.
more, but I do have one question.
Yes.
Do they have like black elf on the shelves?
I was thinking
Yes.
they definitely
They do, because I was kind of
Yeah.
wondering that.
At first they didn't, but yeah, they
No, they
definitely
do.
like, do they
Yeah.
multiracial, like
Yeah,
elf on the
no,
shelves?
and
Okay,
honestly,
I just
like,
wondered.
and honestly, like, why would that would be horrible if they did.
That's kind of what I thought, but I just was wondering.
Okay, this
Oh.
one. I mean,
I have
he's
this
having a
problem in
great time.
I have this problem in my house. He's always trying to get with the Barbies.
Uh-huh.
He looks a little creep. And does
He
he
has
have?
a smile like
what does he
you
have in
don't
his
know what he's
cheeks?
touching under there.
Yeah.
Maybe he's an older elf.
Well, you can see at least one hand, but
Yeah, but the other one, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
she has a wand. Wonder what that's used for.
I wonder where that wand is, but
it's in her hand.
I
Oh,
know.
okay.
It's
Just,
in her
just,
hand. What are
just
you
saying.
doing?
I couldn't see
What are
that.
you
I thought
talking
that was floating on the bubbles, but he's having a good old time. I mean, like I said, for somebody who travels as much as he did, he's got to have a good outlet.
You gotta
so-
unwind, man.
Yeah.
You gotta unwind.
Yeah,
And you should not drink alcohol and get in a warm tub.
not a good idea.
Nor should you mix it with prescription drugs.
Yeah, the
I mean,
combination
definitely
is
know
deadly.
that.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So yeah, regardless, I think that the whole Elf on the Shelf thing is I think it's fun. Like you can have a lot of fun with it. When I have kids someday, it's definitely something I'm gonna do. Like,
When
does
you
it?
have kids someday, you'll be like, remember that time I thought it would be fun on the podcast? Yeah, man, I was stupid.
Oh yeah. Oh, listen. You will think it's fun for the first like
2 days.
week. 'Cause
Okay.
Then you start running out of ideas.
Yeah.
Pinterest.
Well,
That's what Lauren did.
by the time I
Some
have a
of them are really
kid,
creative.
which is probably going to be 30 to 40 years from now, I want to be 70 when I have a kid.
That'll be helpful.
Hey,
You
whatever.
have a lot of life experience.
Yeah.
Then he won't have to deal with them for long.
Like 10 years maybe.
He's not gonna remember their names.
Anyways, like hopefully like holographs, and I can just send them around. And stuff
We'll
like
freeze your
that.
brain, so
Yeah.
you'll
Put
still
you
be there.
We'll put you in the cloud.
Absolutely, the cloud.
There were other ones, but like,
They were
Those are
dirty,
good.
dirty.
well, not that that's a problem. It's just being that this is like episode 3, and YouTube sees like, I just don't feel like.
Some of them
doing
weren't that creative, I would say. Like,
Some of them were pretty funny. But
Yeah.
some of
anyway,
them were.
Yeah.
all right.
But-
Anybody got anything else? I think that's all I got today.
Well, we'll probably still talk about some more Christmas stuff. So in the comments, guys, if you want us to talk about something or have some ideas, let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now, this is the Aesir Podcast. Thank you for watching.
See you, everybody.
See ya.